I don't know if y'all probably everybody probably seen this the other day. The Delta plane crash in Toronto, the Toronto airport. I guess it, it hit the snow too hard and flipped over. Well, caught on fire and flipped over. And oh man, the mainstream media is trying to blame it on Trump of the reason the plane crash, which is it's laughable, really. We're gonna go over it, but it's amazing to me the coping that these people do, the left and the mainstream, and I don't even know what the word is for it. I mean, it's just truthfully, it's just lies, really. But we're gonna watch the video, like the plane crash video, and then we'll see what the brain dead ladies of the view have to say. But look at this. This is kind of crazy if you didn't see it.
Moment a Delta Airlines plane skids, catches fire.
Look at that. You see how hard he hit the ground? Hold on. Like, you're not supposed to hit the ground that bad.
Shows the
Look,
moment a Delta Airlines plane skids, catches fire, then flips over.
It might be so I was thinking maybe it's like a crazy snow day or whatever, and that's the reason that it happened. But I guess it could be like the pilot's fault, really. Like, if they're slamming that hard. I don't know. Like, I'm not a pilot, so I'm not sure, but that's kind of crazy though. Wow.
Plane skids, catches fire,
wow,
then flips over at Toronto Pearson International Airport Monday.
I mean, thankfully everybody's alive, man. That's pretty scary, man. Like, imagine you're in a plane, it hits the ground real hard, so you jump up, and then you hear a big boom. Now you're tipped over. I mean, God is great, man. Nobody got hurt. It's beautiful. Nobody passed away. I think 18 people got hurt.
Afternoon.
Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
Images of the aftermath.
It did. There was a POV video of a lady getting off the plane, and she said, "Oh, they were telling her not to record." Like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But let's see.
Plane on its top on the tarmac, its wings and tail ripped off, and landing gear pointed towards the sky.
All of a sudden, everything just kind of went sideways, and then next thing I know, to get off, fell off, which I had obviously left fastened for the landing. And as I took it off, crashed down onto the ceiling, which had become the floor.
Despite the devastating damage, officials say all 80 people on board, including 76 passengers and 4 crew members, survived.
Thank God.
It's really important that we do not speculate. What we can say is the runway was dry.
We cannot speculate. And look and then watch. I'm gonna switch it over. I'm gonna switch it over to what these ladies got to say, man. Wow, it's pretty embarrassing. Look. Oh man, I can't. Look.
Let's start with the string of mass firings by Elon Musk's Doge.
That's not funny. like. Oh, these ladies, man, they're just a disgrace.
Has sparked a lot of chaos, confusion, and fear because Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is defending the firing of 400 FAA workers. But former Secretary Pete Buttigieg slammed the firings of employees who control communication.
Now look at this. Look at this reporting. I don't know who. I can't even. Despicable. As families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put safety first. Drove down close calls, grew air traffic control, and had our zero commercial airline. Crash fatalities out of millions of our flights on our watch. Trump now oversees the military and the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and suspend some of the key personnel who helped keep our skies safe. That's okay. Just play.
Radio, computer systems, all given all the confusion. So
I did the math. It's less than 1% workers got fired from FAA. And all of them that got fired were on probationary terms. No veterans, no people that have been there a long time. The best people, it's only probation. I think it was 400 out of 45,000, which is, and they're trying to make it seem like these brain dead ladies are trying to make it seem like it's Trump's fault that the plane crashed.
Is this really the time to be laying off folks? And who is exactly getting laid off?
Well, they're seeming to
Probationary workers.
be laying off probationary workers. When you work for the Department of Justice or work for the government, sometimes you have a 2-year probationary period. Sometimes you have a 1-year or 3-year. So these are people that are in their probationary periods and they're not protected yet. And so they're just kind of getting rid of them willy-nilly. The other thing that they're doing is the union spokesperson said that the people that have been affected are maintenance mechanics, aeronautical information specialists, environmental protection specialists, aviation safety assistants, and management and program assistants. And I just want to call back to what Pete Buttigieg tweeted. He said, "We put safety first, drove down close calls, grew traffic control, and had 0 commercial airline crash fatalities out of millions of flights on our watch." President Trump now oversees the military and the FAA. One of his first acts was to fire and suspend some of the key personnel who helped
these ladies
keep our
are
skies
so
safe.
disingenuous.
I do think it's a valid.
There's a lot like just the big plane crash in DC, right, was like a week after Trump got inaugurated. That's under Trump's watch. Is that Biden's fault because that's who Biden hired or got hired under Biden? Like these ladies, man, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing they're on television, man.
Point, but I want to be very clear. There is no evidence that the DC tragic plane crash had anything to do with these firings. And then this most recent one in Toronto, it was because of landing on a Canadian airway, and it was related to the landing. It was not, there is yet at this time no evidence it's related to the layoffs. That said,
yeah, it could be one of two things. One, they hit the ground too hard, flipped because of the weather. Or two, the pilot
it's a perfectly valid
pilot messed up and hit the ground too hard.
Point to say that you need to know who.
And it was in Canada, and they're blaming Trump.
Getting rid of in government.
Hopefully there'll be an investigation.
I strongly, and there is by the NTSB right now, I strongly believe in streamlining government. I think most people think it doesn't necessarily work, it isn't as responsive to people as it should be. But Mike highlighted $50 billion.
Sean Duffy quoted numbers. He said there were 45,000 employees at the FAA. Okay, sounds like a big number. With no context, who are these people? And how, what are their jobs?
Some of them are
400
aviation safety
Wait one second. 400 people were laid off, and you're like, okay, 400. But what were their jobs? They're saying they're in these temporary status jobs, but it doesn't say who they were replacing or why they started wasn't critical. Yeah. My biggest problem is the transportation and the not transportation, the transparency and the methodology in this, because right now we all wanted the fat cut. Great, everyone's on board with that. Not in 2 weeks.
Okay, a few things. That's all Doge is trying to do is cut the fat out. And these ladies sit up here and complain all day, every day about Doge. 1. So when you say you wanted that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. 2, it's not like...
and in the why they started these temporary status jobs, but it doesn't say who they were replacing or why they started wasn't critical. Yeah. My biggest...
These ladies are the most hypocritical people I've ever listened to in my life.
Problem is the transportation and the now we fat in an organization. You go in, you learn everything, and then you see where the inadequacies are. And that's the issue. Probationary status.
I feel like we're living in some kind of chaos right now.
Oh, man. Joy, man. Joy. You senile old woman.
I mean, they also fired, how many of them? 300 employees who are guarding the nuclear arsenal.
I'm done. I can't with these ladies anymore. But yeah, I mean, again, it's disgusting that these ladies, and not just them, like the national media is trying to blame Trump for a plane crash in Canada, which is Canada again. Like I don't think it's called the FAA up there, probably air traffic, whatever. And he fired less than 1% of the company, probationary workers. And it's crazy because even if they weren't probationary workers, again, it's less than 1% of the FAA. It's not like he's firing half of the people and other people can't get their jobs done. It's less than 1%. So honestly, nothing changes day to day. It's not like people have extra responsibilities or more responsibilities on each shoulders. They got to do more jobs, and then it causes. This is a simple, plain pilot. Either he made a mistake or the weather just dictated the mistake. And they just hypocrisy and just I'm a lost for words. Truthfully, you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you react to next. And crazy plane crash.